What's up to all the new and to all the returning? What's good with you? Oh, you know, I feel blessed to be able to do this outside again, man. The breakpoint outside, yeah, that means the weather has broken. What's up, Chris? Okay, then there's also big B's like that too. But what's up, man? What happened to you earlier, man? You're supposed to meet me to practice, and you had me out there looking bad by myself. You did. You had me out there looking bad by myself, Chris. It's dirty. You're supposed to have my back. The good news is I didn't chuck none in the gutter. The bad news is I wasn't using my newfound release and I wasn't keeping the ball inside either because my hip is getting in the way. My trail leg isn't clearing fast enough. However, I don't care. I don't care right now at this moment. I do care later though. My dog acting stupid. Hey, go lay down, man. So trail leg not clearing fast enough is preventing me to be inside, keeping this in. The problem is I'm bouncing off of my hip. So sometimes there's factors and you have to work out those factors in order to get where you want to be. But here's the thing. I have no patience. So if you're going to make a change to your physical game, I recommend you practice patience. Me personally, I don't have any. I want everything to be right now. But when you're making a change like this, it takes reps. Reps take time. So the way I see it is I put it on the calendar earlier before I came live. I put that by a certain date, I wanted it all to be copacetic. Which brings me to another dilemma. Do I go practice? So I'm supposed to bowl league with AB, but my physical game is in shambles. So do I bowl with her and use the old release and the old swing where I can control it and be pinpoint accurate? Or Or do I try and keep using the new release where I have zero accuracy, zero control, and be bouncing it off my hip, trying to get inside? So that's the question of questions. That's what coach has to ask himself. So if you're making a change like this, what would you guys do? Anybody? So what would you do? And for those of you who aren't watching it live, who are watching it later, leave it in the comments. Tell me what you would do. Chris said go three-handed. If that was an option, Chris, it might be an option. Even two hands ain't an option. I want to be good at what I want to be good at. I want to dictate what I'm good at. I don't want the lanes to dictate it for me. Here's the deal. When you first learn a bowl, you develop bad habits, right? So sometimes it's hard to correct those bad habits. Like me, for example, clearing my trail leg. That's something that I started bowling with. Oh, I know, Chris, you're good. I like that you like that. But so I started with ugh, a late, however you want to say it, trail leg. So now that I'm trying to get inside more, that trail leg is hindering me. So what do I do? Practice, practice, practice. Now here's the funny part, right? No step is a drill that is very, very good to get you inside and up the back of the ball. However, back of the ball to make it more forward. However, in my case, it's very bad because when you're no step, the trail leg's already clear. My problem is I'm clearing my trail leg way too late. So you're supposed to start clearing your trail leg as your ball. Oh, excuse me for that. It's been up a long time. So you're supposed to start you're supposed to let me slow down. You're supposed to start clearing your trail leg as your ball reaches its highest point. So as you're coming down, your trail leg should already be out of the way. To be clear, unfortunately for me, my trail as the ball is already down here, about to enter the dead zone. My trail leg is actually still in the way. And if you go back and you watch my videos, you'll actually see it. So if you're somebody that's lazy with their trail leg, hello, that's me too. But yeah, if you go back and look, you'll be able to see it, and it's definitely costing me. So I guess there's going to be a ton of one step drills in my future. Sitting out here so relaxing, man. I'll be sleep on the live. Where is everybody? I'm missing half my crew. Oh, tomorrow afternoon I'll release the origin and the ultimate record video, the ultimate record by Roto Grip. I'll be releasing both of them. Yep, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers that watch. Lockport is the 24th, but I'm not going. I ain't ready. I'm not going to make a fool out of myself. Absolutely not going to make a fool out of myself, Chris. You can forget that one. Uh, I'll go to one after the summer's over. I should be where I developmental where I want to be then. Boy, when you take an engine apart, you got to be ready for the consequences. Let me tell you. What up, Larry? How you doing, brother? You change to make yourself better. So if you want to be good or better, you have to put in the work. Nah, the grind don't stop. Putting in the work, Larry, is easy. I mean, putting in the work, Larry, is easy, especially for me. Like I'm at the bowling alley a lot. Matter of fact, I'm Chris can tell you I'm at the bowling alley getting work in probably more than any three people combined. So believe it or not, Larry, putting in the work ain't the problem. It's when you make a change like this, it's astronomical. So the things that you grow accustomed to, you lose temporarily. And the temporary part is that's the crazy part is you don't know how temporary. The only thing that you know is that you lose it and you will gain it back at some point, like accuracy. But I know why I'm not accurate. I know why. The why is my hip is in the way. I'm not clearing fast enough. Then it becomes the how. And then once I can manage to clear my trail leg and hip out the way fast enough, then it becomes about reps, reps, and more reps. My question to you is I have the Radical Torpedo, the Motive Max Trail Hybrid, and Solid. Looking for a tweener between them. Looking at the Typhoon, 17 mile an hour, 390 rev rate. Struggling with reading lanes. Okay, so the Radical Torpedo, All right, so the Max Trail Solid is the Superman ball, so the hybrid does go under that. I'll give you that one. Now I gotta look because that torpedo is where the torpedoes are solid, right? I know the torpedo direct is yeah, the torpedo direct is the one for the dry lanes, and that bad boy is pretty daggone awesome. All right, so the torpedoes is another solid. No, it's asymmetrical pearl. Okay, okay, so you got an asym pearl, HK22. Okay, so let me ask you this, Steve. What kind of shape are you looking for? So, what kind of shape are you looking for? Because I imagine that that torpedo is really angular, like the hockey stick. Yeet. Right, right. Have you? Okay, so here's the deal. So you have the torpedo. So, so I take it that you're shooting a house shot. You'd have to be because yeah, you have to be bulling a house shot. So, are you able to get through your first game with the Max Trail Solid? Because I mean, I guess if you're playing 17 mile an hour, I take it you're playing up. Hey, what's up, Chad? I guess you're playing. I would imagine with 17 mile an hour speed, you're playing right up seven, six, seven, eight, because it gets down the lane, runs through the run up six, seven, eight. Okay. So here's the thing about the Typhoon. The Typhoon is pretty fabulous, but it's really angular though. Yeah. Um. Now I was under the impression that the Typhoon. Yep. Okay. See, I just by your ball speed and what ball you're throwing, I see what you're playing. The Typhoon is really angular too. Back end friendly. I actually hadn't thrown a ball recently that turns the corner like the Typhoon until today when I threw the wrecker, ultimate wrecker. That thing is it turns the corner better than the Typhoon. So, if you want angular shape, I would say that. But if not, for the burn, I'd probably look at something easier. So, because I mean, that's exactly what you seem to be looking for, something on a burn that's like maybe a little more rounder. Why not the why not stay cheap and go um Motive Max Tro Pearl? Gets around the corner, it's smoother, um, stores a ton of energy. I love it. I'm not getting rid of mine to save my life. Yes, sir. Definitely something you gotta look into. But if you do like the angle, a ball that's faster, once it hits friction, faster moving. If you do like something faster moving, the Typhoon is a lot faster than the Max Trail Pro. But I'm telling you, Max Trail Pro, there's just not a way that you're going to lose, especially since you already have an angular ball, which is an ASIM. So if you got to play a bigger angle, then you can go to the torpedo. Sorry, not typing the torpedo. But if you don't need to play that angle, you can go to your symmetrical max pearl, and that's without seeing you throw. So, torpedo X is a solid. I mean, you already got a solid and a hybrid. So, I mean, unless you're in the market for another solid, I'd probably stay away from it. Not to mention, for me, I was gonna do a review on the ball, but then I thought about it. Most balls that they bring back from back in the day, they're not very good. And that's only according to me. That's how I see it. But I mean, if you see different, okay. Let's see what Larry got to say. Coach, I know you of all people will figure this out. Just can't let the first. Oh yeah, Larry. Trust me when I tell you this, bro. Short term, whoo, oh my goodness. Short term, it got me ready to throw a whole bunch of bowling balls in the Rock River. But I get it. And I put in the work there and here. You know what I mean? I'm always putting in the work. So it is what it is, Larry. I mean, listen, again, I have this thing, Larry, where I'm trying to get everything right now. But the reality is I don't need to. The reality is all I gotta do is take my time and work out the issues. And when I get it, it's gonna elevate my game to another level. However, I need to just take my time. The only bad part for me is the Sports Shot League, I could care less. It's all practice. Sports Shot League is just practice. The end of it is a tournament. I plan on winning that. That being said, the sports shots are practice. But with AB though, it's a scholarship league where she can get a lot of scholarship money. So I don't want my deficiencies to roll over on her. That's my issue. That's where I'm like, okay, do I step away from this and let somebody else bowl who has a better chance because my game is where it's at right now, or do I go ahead and bowl with her and make because the reason why I was going to bowl with AB was to watch her in competition over and over, so that way I can make a checklist of everything I need to fix after the season's over. So between that and high school, after junior gold in high school, we can make the alterations that we need to elevate her game, right? So that's that problem. But do I want to make her lose scholarship money because again, my physical game is nowhere close to what it is. If with the way I'm missing right now, let me clarify. The ball reviews, I use my old release and follow through, which I probably shouldn't have. And you'll see, I what I look at, I hit, I get the reaction I want, the ball roll I want. However, if I want to compete at a higher level, I need to make the physical change. So, do do I bow out or do I put her through my agony? That's the golden question. So I would love you guys' feedback. Tell me what you think. Yeah, Chad, some people do like the retro appeal. I just ain't one of them. Speaking of that, Chad, how do you like that ball, man? Yeah, hey, Steve, I always recommend talking to your pro shop operator. Now, I hope you got a good pro shop operator, one that checks your tilt, your rotation, your PAP before he ever drills you a bowling ball, and not just say, "Give me your ball," or not just give me one of your bowling balls and drills it according to that. I would hope you don't have one of those, and if you do, well, you might want to get a new one. I'm just saying. I was asking for a friend, you know, but that's the biggest thing in the world, man. Having a good pro shop operator is the biggest difference maker in the world, dude. It can have your game here or here. It's really, really, really important. And I know it takes time for pro shop operators to go out there and get those numbers. Trust me, I know. However, if you're not going to benefit the person, then why do it? That's my thing. So, chat, how do you like it? You never told me. You never. I waited for a message for you to tell me how you liked it. You never told me nothing. And Larry, I got you, dog. I'm good. I just got to figure out with my game in transition what's best for AB. Yeah, that's what I got to do. I got to figure out what's best for AB right now at this particular minute. He took off for 28 years, got back into it in January, averaging 190 to a 205. I started out when I was 13. Yeah, that was way before my time. Columbia Yellow. Haven't drilled it yet. Been busy with other stuff. Let's see. Probably won't drill it until close to the fall. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Well, yeah, her dad, Andy, he's the bowler. And Andy's a bad boy. Andy can bowl. Her dad can bowl. So theoretically, could I remove myself and he do it? Yes. And then but the thing is I would still go every week to watch her bowl because I would still go to watch her bowl because these are changes I still need to I still need the notes. I still need to watch it and everything. So but yeah, no, her dad can bowl. Andy can bowl. Y'all seen him on the channel before. He bowled against me in fall league. I'm glad you like the look of it. So that's where I'm at with that one. Coach, we met at IESA day 2. Yes, I remember. You gave my son a pep talk and told him to move right off his jerk. Big thanks for that. He went on to play second in U15 at the Pepsi Finals. That's what I'm talking about. Tell him I said I'm looking for him to do big things next year. I know he only be a freshman, but I expect your son to do big things. And you guys can hit me up anytime you want. Anything y'all need, man. Just let me know. See, guys, that's what I be telling y'all about right there. Helping people out, man. That's what it's all about. Growing a sport. Technology caused me a headache with all these different types of. Steve, join the club. Actually, we're going to talk about this in 2 seconds. But listen, for real though, anything you guys need, you can email me, badbadbowling101 at gmail.com. Anything you need, you or your son, anytime. And then if you email me, I'll give you my number. And then you can reach out anytime you want. Again, we're just trying to grow the sport, but your son's got talent. And I would love to see him downstate next year, which he should be, especially with his physical game. Oh, yeah. Just remember, adjusting for that drift means everything. All right, so Steve, let's talk about this. Bowling balls, right? So here's the big question right now that everybody's asking. Is it too many bowling balls being put out every month? And the answer to that is no. Why is it not too many? Well, there's a bunch of different brands, right? And all them brands are releasing a ball. So, but still, you can still say, Coach, you're kind of nuts. There's still a lot of balls coming out each month. Yeah, no kidding. I'm buying them all. And it's killing my pocket. But, nah, that's here nor there. But anyway, here's the point. People are buying them. As long as people buy bowling balls, they're going to put them out. Fact. But here's the problem. So, it's not that there's so many. It's there's so many that are similar. For example, I love the Typhoon. I could barely see it because remember I have trouble picking up dark balls. But then I did the ball review, which I'm gonna release tomorrow, of the Ultimate Record. And the Ultimate Record shape and the Typhoon shapes are super similar. Which brings me to a point. Which one do you want to use then? And do you want to have them both? But here's the thing, there's so many balls just like that. So you're darned if you do, you're darned if you don't, right? I mean, there's so many balls that are the same. So am I saying, I mean, so the question then becomes, how do you decide? If you know you got two balls that are the same, like the Hater and the Magic Gem, they are almost identical shapes, read the same, carry the same, stores energy the same. So the question then becomes, how do you pick? Is it you pick the brand that you like the most? Or do you pick the colors of the ball which you like the most? Because it's pretty nuts. Chad, that facts. There's too much overlap in the technology. It's just way too much. It's way, way, way too much. And here's the craziest part, right? So, and this is gonna get you. So, if you're just a house bowler, and house bowling is great, and you have no ambition to be at a PBA regional or a PBA, then you're great. And why do I say that? Here's why. Even if you're just a regular tournament bowler, you're good. But if you get into PBA rules, they got a 2 year window on any bowling ball. 2 year window that's not in production. Well, here's the problem. 95% of all the bowling balls from 2024 are discontinued. So they're no longer in production. So you can use them now, but then in 2026, they're done. They're done. So they won't be using them. So then it's a new ball. And that's why it's always the next best, the next best, the next best, because they're driving it to that point. Now, here's the deal. If you're just a regular tournament bowler, house bowler, stuff like that, you're good to go because you'll always be able to use them. However, if you're somebody like me who wants to bowl regionals, well, that becomes a problem. But I don't keep balls long enough that it's ever a problem anyway, except for the Magic Gym. Which, guess what? With the way they discontinued the Magic Gym, I know that next year I can't use it if I'm going to bowl in a PBA region or whatever. Nope. Right, right, Chad. I agree with you. Pick the one that gives you the most mental advantage if it's color or brand correct. So that's where it comes down to is you're picking predicated on brand or colors because the balls have so much similarity that they overlap. But that's what it comes down to. So then it comes down to choices, right? But if you're going to bowl in a PBA event, the choices may hurt you in the future because if this ball sells more than this ball, but this ball's color's better, they're going to discontinue this ball better because it's not selling as much, and your window using it in PBA is just slim to zero. Now, again, and I stress this, if you're just a house shot bowler, and I stress this, if you're just a tournament bowler in the house shots, who cares? Use whatever you want. You can use a purple hammer. See, look at the coach testaments like that makes me proud of you. All you do for others to help us be better in the sport we love. Man, listen, I tell y'all, sometimes I'm like, I don't know if y'all believe me or not, but I'm in it to grow the sport, man. I love what I do. You know what I mean? I love what I do. Young man was bowling, and he's good too. I mean, he's a really good right-handed two-hander. And when I met him, they were real cool people. And Dad was like, "Look, this is what he's having problems with." And I watched him on the deck, and I said, "Okay, it's not a big deal. He's drifting. We just gotta adjust for it." And I walked him through how to adjust for it. And then he bowled at States, and that day, I guess he left and went to bowl in the Pepsi to qualify, and then he ended up finishing second in U15. So little things, little things, little things. Now I could have been like everybody else and said nothing, but how does that benefit the game? One day when he win his first PBA title, they're gonna be like, "Yo," and he'll be like, "Listen, I figured out how to adjust my game." That's it right there. It's the small little intricate details that make us who we are, right? And I love bowling. And the information that I have, I love passing it down. Like I tell my wife, this is bigger than me. I'm trying to create a legacy that lives far past me. You know what I mean? My son gives me my genetic legacy. But this is the legacy that I want to leave. When I'm no longer here, it's okay, coach helped me. But I don't want people to just be like, well, he helped me with the game. I want them to say I also helped them with life. You know what I mean? Passing and failing is a life thing too. But yeah, I love the bowl. I love every part of it. I even love the mental language of it. I should get a job at the bowling alley cleaning gutters because bouncing the ball off my hip into the gutter is not a good thing. Well, thanks. I appreciate it. So with a 190 average, he be beating up on you. You you might have to get your game up to compete with your son at this point. If I remember correctly, he doesn't have a high school, or you have to join a different school. If I remember correctly, I just started to use Specto to judge my consistency on speed and rev rate. It's technology, man. It's technology. So the the moral of the story is it's it's just technology. So how much stock do you put into it? Here's the deal, right? If your rev rate is 390, how much more you need? I mean, if you're trying to go PBA, you might need a little more because the average is like 430 or something like that. But hey, if it gets you through Bill O'Neill bound 400, if it gets you through the pins properly, who cares? What up, Graham? What it do, my brother? He's teaching me you two handed. I like that. That's what I'm talking about. Father and son working together. That's time that is so valuable that I'm telling you now that it's priceless. That time is priceless. Enjoy every moment of that. Him teaching you. Yeah. So what? I went live with PBA on TV. So what, Graham? Tell them I said that they can they can hold they stuff until after I'm done. And the big bowling ain't till next weekend with EJ bowling. I think that's next weekend, ain't it? Yeah, I could be wrong. But that's why they have replay. But you can replay this, Graham. I'm telling you, man, that time that you and your son spending doing two hands, that's the most valuable stuff in the world. And you know what the best part is? He's gonna remember it far longer than you. And that's something he's gonna tell his kids about. That's you creating a legacy. This is what me and my dad used to do. I mean, by the time he's your age, he might be bowling with holograms, but that's priceless right there. And for all of you fathers, y'all remember this right there. How invaluable that is. That he's spending that time with his kid. Sometimes I see Bill O'Neill throw the ball that stops hooking and straightens out before the pop. Yeah. Do I care to elaborate? The ball is hooks and set. That's all. It finished. It hooked and set. That's all. You can, Chad. You can drill a ball to hook and set like that. there's an example. I got an example. Listen, Chad, when tomorrow when I release the ultimate, no, you know what? Hold on. The world is it? Hold on, Chad. I got an idea. Got a great idea for you, Chad. I'm gonna post a video of an example of a ball doing just that. Hooked and set. Hold on. I don't think that was one. No, no, it doesn't give up the energy. Uh, trying to find it. Actually, you'll see it tomorrow. The ball I'm talking about, I threw the Max Trill Pearl. It's funny too, because of how it's drilled. I threw it in the Ultimate Record video to compare it with it, and it hooked and it set and blew the pocket up. So no, it doesn't lose energy. It's just not continuous. That's all. It's no big. It's not a problem. Okay, so no, I think that I keep it around 340, 350 revs. I'm more consistent in the pocket. Higher up, I feel like I'm coming over the ball and bam, hit high or Brooklyn. Well, it just okay. But Steve, what you might be able to do though is move your feet just a couple of boards, maybe three left, and throw that same shot instead of being Brooklyn. I mean, you'll be high and tight. So it's just a matter of moving. But however, you don't ever want to come over top of the ball or around it that far. But the good news is that with a little bit of practice, you can be up the back of the ball. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm going from being around it to just through it, and it's a lot of fun. But again, part of that is being inside to where you don't have air in between you here. But for me, when I come down again, the ball's bouncing off my hip because my I'm not clearing fast enough. No, a ball that hooks set though, Chad. Just to reiterate, no, it's not going to give up energy. It still retains it. Yes, which I think is good. Like when I'm going to go to a tournament, I'll have a couple of balls in my bag that'll hook and set. That's you know, you guys want to hear what's crazy about? Whoa, you want to hear what's crazy about the change that I'm going through? Here's what's nuts. You guys ready? So when I'm inside like that, when I can manage to get my hips out the way, my spare shooting is garbage. I'm talking go from 90% to 30%. Like everything changes when I'm inside like that. I mean everything. Hey man, listen, anything you need, Steve, all you gotta do is ask. And it's a pleasure, man. That's what we do here at Bad Bad Bowling. And when Coach A's here, same thing. And then if you ever have questions, Steve, you can always jump into the Discord. If somebody put the Discord in the link in the chat, that'd be great. You can jump Steve into the Discord. You can ask questions, and you'll get answers in Discord too. So and Coach A also answers questions in Discord. He actually answers more often in Discord than I do, to be honest with you. Especially with my busy level, I'm always working, always working. So yeah, that's another thing to consider. Like today when I went in, I used my other release where and my spare shooting today was impeccable. However, when I'm inside, jeez, I can't hit the back end of a barn. Seriously, I can't hit anything. Matter of fact, I'm surprised I hit the lane half the time. I know it sounds bad, but I'm telling you guys the 100% truth. I know it sounds horrible, but I'm not making this up. If I hit the back end of the, if me hitting the lane is an improvement with how it's been looking, your dad is right though. It's about spares, man. I mean, your dad is 100% right, Steve. If you get your spares, strikes will come. But think about it. If you're picking up your spares, that's 90% of the battle. That's 90% of the battle. See, Chad said I noticed my average dropped 5 to 10 pins once I started Botox injections in my leg. My balance seemed to be off a lot more. I, we gonna have to have a conversation, Chad, about why you're doing that to your legs. But I imagine with your condition, you need it. Uh, maybe it's just a matter of slowing down a little bit. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's just a matter of slowing down just a hair, Chad. Me and my son bow together, and I love it. He took a 2 year break because he lost interest in it. He came back, loves it again, and we won first place in our league. He is bowling better than me. But Larry, here's the blessing though. The blessing you just said is you're bowling with your son. That's love. That's time that y'all are bonding together, man. It's invaluable. Larry, that's invaluable. I wish more fathers and son did it. You know, fishing, bowling, whatever, whatever. But that time is so invaluable, man. It's priceless. See, my son thought when I asked him to bowl, he thought I was getting into bowls. I wanted to be like me. Nah, I just wanted him to be with me, having doing something. But we'll figure it out. Yeah. You know what? All else fails, Chad. Slow down. All else fails, slow down a little bit. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. That's what I would recommend. Slow down. And here's the thing, Chad. Sometimes in the heat of the battle, it's hard to slow down, man. So especially, sometimes when, like Thursday for me, it was like quicksand. One thing went wrong, then two, then three, then four, then five. And I'm like, man. And being inside and the release not, oh, man, I'm like, you got to be kidding me right now. I was better the old way. But see, that's a problem, though. When you start thinking that, you're in trouble. When you start thinking, well, I was better the old way, you already in trouble, man. But that's why I said, do I bowl with AB or do I bowl with AB or do I let her dad bowl and just go and coach her because my game is just insanely messed up right now. My favorite time of my life was bowling with my grandpa's team. See, yeah, I imagine it is, man. I mean, that's what bowling's supposed to be, fun. You create memories. Everybody like, yo, you and Drew, y'all be laughing. That's because we be, man, that's because it's fun for us. You know what I mean? It's fun for us. I just went through the hardest 2 seasons of my life bowling. And it's not like I bowled a lot of seasons, but the last 2 league years, bicep tears, 2 years in a row. And the top part was easy compared to this part. This part right here is still giving me problems, but this right here is far worse than this one. So it's been a rough 2 seasons, but I'm starting to feel a lot better. Yeah, yeah, Andy could bowl with her. Andy's got skills. But here's the thing. I wanted to bowl with her, especially because I have never got a chance to. So bowling with AB, I just I just wanted to do it. You know what I mean? Plus bowling with her, I get to watch all her stuff. I get to watch her disposition, her mannerisms, everything. And coaching her, sometimes I'm more worried about this or that, but bowling with her, you know, I get to see it, and then I can ask her questions like, "Why this? Why that? What up, Red?" So yeah, I can do all that and ask all those questions. But trying to be inside, I'm telling you, if I average a 150, I'd be impressed. Now, if you give me the time to get the reps in to where it's starting to make sense to my body, to where I can hit what I'm looking at, then it's a whole different ball game. Then it's on like Flynn. But right now, shoot, man, this junk is hard, bro. Speaking of something, I just walked in. Coach, thank you again. TikTok. No, listen, man, anytime. Anytime. And like I said, the Discord is open to you anytime you need it. But have a good night, Steve, and have fun with your son, buddy. What's up, Oliver? How you doing, bro? Oliver in the building, ladies and gentlemen. So that's the thing that I got to decide: bowl or not bowl. I'm just I my game is just. And y'all know what's funny? Out of all the changes I've ever made, this is by far the one that's wrecked my game the most. I've made changes to where my average dip about 4 or 5 pins, and then it goes and right back up. But this getting inside position, hip being in the way, my average is. I mean, my accuracy. Listen, I did an accuracy test being inside. I hit my mark on average 28%. Literally 28%. I did the accuracy test my normal way, and I'm like at 88%. So 88 the old way, 28 the new way, but inside position is where I need to be though. Let's I'm not trying to be like, oh, I should stay where I'm at. Nah, 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 nah. And I don't know where Stephanie at. I don't know where she's at. You know she comes and goes when she wants to. Okay, Red. I don't know what that's all about, but so that's why I'm saying I'm trying to figure this out. What I want to do because that league starts on Tuesday. Maybe it'll be all right. Maybe it won't. I need to get some reps in is what I need to do. So I got another thing that we're gonna do. Starting this fall for ball reviews, I'm gonna do the ball review. And the day that I release the ball review, the day wait, I'm gonna do a ball review, and on the day I do the ball review, I'm gonna let you guys guess the series on the ball review if you're a member, right? Because then I'm gonna do the ball review, and then I'm gonna bowl a game, and then I'm gonna post the game in the member chat, and you guys get the no. How we're gonna do it? I said that wrong. Sorry. If you're a member, this is what we're gonna do. So we're gonna go. I'm gonna do a ball review on a ball, and then the members will get to pick what they think the score of my game will be. Then I'm gonna go in the day after I drop the video, and I'm gonna bowl a game, and you guys get the opportunity to pick the score. If you win that score for that ball, you get that ball. Now, am I going to do it for every ball? No, it's just for the balls that I'm not going to keep. Which, Coach A will tell you, I don't keep many. And then we got ball reviews coming that'll start coming from AB, Tayshawn, and two-hander Jordan. So we're gonna have some fun times coming up here, and maybe your boy Graham, can come get his butt whipped. He probably hear me because he watching bowling TV right now, but we ain't gonna tell nobody. What time is it? So what do y'all think about my new plan? I'm just looking forward to throwing a new hustle. Tell you the truth, them things look sweet. Drew always doing tournaments in summer, but Drew do mostly the plus 50-year old ones. But he always doing something. I'm gonna hit him up tomorrow and figure out what he's on. Graham, you can do a bar review. All you gotta do is say the word. Oh yeah, that's right. You did have kidney. Yeah, that's right. How you doing, buddy? You good, Red? Graham, you can do a bar review anytime you ready, dude. All you gotta do is say the word, bro. We good. All you gotta do is say the word, Graham. We can lace him up. You can do a bar review, and you can pick the ball. Yeah, that's something for you right there, boy. I can't imagine how rough that'd be. But you got through the surgery, so that's a plus, Red. That is definitely a plus. But yep, ball reviews are dropping. The Origin EX, and then the Ultimate Record. Now, thing is I think both balls are all right. One of them surprised the heck out of me. I will say that right now. One of them really surprised me. So make sure you guys watch them. One of them really, really, really surprised me. Absolutely surprised me. Sounds good to me, Coach. If someone wants to be a member, where do we go if we want to give them the channel? Larry, what do you mean? Where do you go if somebody if we want to? I'm confused about the question, Larry. If somebody wants to be a member, where do we go? Well, first of all, you'd have to send them the link to the YouTube channel. And then from there, all they got to do is hit the member button. But remember, if you have an iPhone, you got to go to the web browser to do it. You can't do it through the app. That's good that you home now, Red. That's really good. I went out Friday and played part of the lane. I normally don't play. Didn't do bad. 223 and 196. That's good. That's real good. Yeah, Graham, it surprised the mess out of me too, dude. The record really surprised me. Really, really surprised me. Yep, sure did. It sure did. I was talking some yayo too, and then it was like, "Hello world." I was like, "What? What is this?" Yeah, man, that boss pretty good. I can see keeping both of them. Maybe 50-50. Because I changed my mind like this. You think so, Chad? Dude, my elbow's on 10 right now. Oh, man, that hurt. That really hurt. Well, you can do a super chat, or you can. There's a if you go to the page and stuff, there's all kind of stuff there. But Larry, you don't have to do that. You already supporting the channel, bro. You being here right now is supporting the channel. And you, like I said, you could always do super chats when we're in live like this, but you already supporting the channel, bro. And if you want to become a member, you can do that too. Oh yeah. Do I have any? No, I haven't. I haven't put out videos to lay out a ball. Unless you're a pro shop operator, I don't necessarily think you should be laying out a ball. See, I went down to Kegel and got myself certified to be a pro shop operator, but I don't think that just a normal person should, you know, laying out a ball is actually not very difficult, especially if you're using a dual system. It's not very complicated. It's actually really, really easy. But here's the thing: when laying out a bowling ball for me, I do so. I need the PAP, the axis tilt, axis rotation. I put all those together, and then that's how I decide what layout I need on the ball. Not to mention, it comes down to if it's a weak core or a strong core. It comes down to cover stock. It comes down to what I want the ball to do. Like Chad asked about hook set, and if I want the ball to hook set, if I want it to be continuous, if I want it to be really early, if I want it to be really late, all those come into play about what I want to drill and how I want to drill it. I know they say layouts don't really matter unless you're on the harder stuff, but to me, it matters a little because they say most of it is cover stock. But I mean, I know what I want the ball to do, and I know how I want it to turn a corner. So to me, layout does matter. I'll have to think about that. I'll think about it. Have a conversation with A about putting out a video how to lay out a ball. Um, I mean, and then it also depends on who's laying it out, what they use. I mean, some people use the storm method. Some people it's different stuff that you can use, dual angle, all that. So depends on what you want to learn too. Because I can put out a video that's dual angle and people don't want to learn that; they want to learn something different. So after working with our PSO, I believe it does for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, Chad. It's that's what it's all about, man. But you got to have a good PSO. You got to. Yeah, laying out a ball can get pretty technical. Or you can have a pro shop operator that just does everything five and one up and tells you that you're ready. See, that's good. But listen, the more education you got, the better. And if you got a pro shop operator who's willing to teach you, that's even better. You know, ask him. Say, how do I find my access tilt? How do I find my access rotation? How do I find my PAP? Ask him to show you those things. And then ask him, how do I put all that into my layout? How do I decide what I want the ball to do? But then but that's continuing education because now you want shapes because you want different shapes, right? This is one shape. This is another shape. This ball is faster turning the corner. This ball is faster coming from the wet to dry. This ball blends the wet to dry. These are all things that you want to learn because all that comes into play. But a lot of that, again, what I just said is cover stuff. How it's doing this, what is doing this, the core, tumbling. How is that doing? And when you when you get to that point, it's a great thing. But you definitely need somebody to teach you. And also, Oliver, this is another thing I'll tell you is never be afraid to ask questions. Never be afraid to ask questions. Your pro shop guys there to answer questions and help you out. So don't ever be afraid of that. No, sir, no. Don't be afraid to answer questions. Ask questions, sorry. But I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with this league because see, summertime is the time to make changes for me. And I guess when I had I had scheduled to make these changes, but I didn't schedule the bowl with AB. But then when Andy asked me, I was like, yeah, for sure. But I never anticipated this change being this dynamic in changing my ability to even hit spares. So I got till Tuesday to make a decision. We'll see. Hey, yeah, we have a great relationship. I have a key to the shop. See, that's good. That's good. Hey, sit down. You playing with me? Mess with my emotions. Emotional damage. All right, guys, I'm gonna get my dog in the house and get some dinner. Because tomorrow's Monday, and that means I gotta work again. The good news is I'll probably be live tomorrow. So make sure you're looking at the community tab, which now says post, because I'm 9 out of 10. Well, about 7 out of 10. I'll be live tomorrow. I'll jump on for an hour or so. I'm gonna try to start being as live as much as I can to help as much as I can to everybody. And I want to be live too because I'm putting out the ball reviews. And I've never been live and dropped a ball review at the same time. I still have my hyped pearl, Chad, waiting on these reviews. May get another roto grip ball. Yeah, that ultimate record's a beast. Larry, that ball is a beast. I'm telling you what, man, I think I was as far as 45 with my feet with that ultimate record. If that don't tell you something without seeing a review, nothing will. Ooh, now that sounds like fun. Hey, listen, we have a sports shot league down here. I know you're way too far away from us, but we have where we're on the animal patterns every Thursday. Yep. And if you and your son's ever in the area for whatever reason, whether you're bowling at Don Carter, like a Pepsi event or something, let me know because we also put sports shots down on the weekend. So, have him come in and mess around with my kids that are local. He's met a couple of them because they bowl with down at state. But yeah, and then my high school team. So they're always tinkering on a sports shot. But that Pataglia, that's a monster pattern. I don't know. Okay, the master pattern is good. Pataglia, all you gotta do is run it straight up. 11, 12, 13. That should run you right into the pocket. The master's pattern, that's a little that's crazy. Yeah, so no, you're good. You guys can, like I said, anytime y'all in the area, y'all let me know. We can set some up. All the kids come out. And the great part is I got kids from all other schools too that come out and bowl with us too. So they'll jump on a house shop, sports shop with you guys. Have a bunch of well, all do it. Have a bunch of fun. How about you watch the video, Larry? How about you watch the review tomorrow, Larry, and then you tell me who I got. I've used it, Red, and it's pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. I'll give credit where it's due. Pretty good. Hey, but remember, hit me up on at Bad Bad Bowling 101 at gmail.com so I can get your information so I can reach out to you guys. You can reach out to me. I can give you my number and stuff. And with that being said, guys, I'm going to eat and hang out with my boys. So thanks again for tuning in. Check the comment thing. Says 9 out of 10. I'll be live tomorrow for about an hour. Everybody, have a great night. Let's watch some basketball. I think it's still on. No, it's over. So let's go watch some bowling. Graham said somebody was bowling. Hey, didn't the girl season start right now too? Well, I'm gonna watch the PBA because I'll just go back to Bowl TV and watch it. But every